How the AC-130 went from a cargo plane to gunship. For nearly 60 years, the many different variants of the AC-130 have supported special operations and conventional troops in almost every battlefield that the U.S. military has found itself in. As the Air Force is gearing up for the realities of near-peer competition with China and Russia and the potential conflicts of the future, the AC-130 finds itself once more at the center of attention. The AC-130 gunship community can trace its roots back to the jungles of Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. There, the initial variants of the aircraft, the AC-130E Spectre and the AC-47, nicknamed Puff, the Magic Dragon, saw action for the first time during the Vietnam War, supporting conventional and special operations troops. When it comes to nighttime close air support, there is probably no better friend to American special operators and no worse foe to their enemies than the AC-130 gunship. For nearly 60 years, the many different variants of the AC-130 have supported special operations and conventional troops in almost every battlefield that the U.S. military has found itself in. As the Air Force is gearing up for the realities of near-peer competition with China and Russia and the potential conflicts of the future, the AC-130 finds itself once more at the center of attention. The AC-130 gunship community can trace its roots back to the jungles of Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. There, the initial variants of the aircraft, the AC-130E Spectre and the AC-47, nicknamed Puff, the Magic Dragon, saw action for the first time during the Vietnam War, supporting conventional and special operations troops. Even then, the aircraft's nighttime capabilities made the difference, saving many an infantry platoon and special operations recon teams from getting wiped out by larger North Vietnamese or Viet Cong forces. The two versions of the gunship are credited with destroying more than 10,000 enemy vehicles throughout the conflict. Following the Vietnam War, the AC-130 continued to serve, having shown its deadly effectiveness and unmatched nighttime close air support capabilities. To this day, there have been 6 versions of the aircraft: AC-130A, AC-130E, AC-130H, AC-130U, AC-130W, and AC-130J. The AC-130 has 3 primary mission sets: air interdiction, armed reconnaissance, and close air support, and 3 secondary mission sets: combat search and rescue, forward air control, and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Put simply, the AC-130 is an aerial gunnery platform that uses the pylon turn technique, flying in a wide circle above the target area, to produce a steady volume of fire on a target. Although this technique makes the aircraft so deadly, it also restricts it in nighttime operations, as it would otherwise be a very easy target to hit. The aircraft's powerful arsenal and sensors truly make the AC-130 a versatile platform that can dish out a rain of fire one moment and then send back vital intelligence to troops on the ground the next. The AC-130J Ghost Rider, which is the latest version of the gunship, is armed with 30mm and 105mm cannons and can deploy smart munitions, including the GBU-39 small diameter bomb, GBU-69 small glide munition, AGM-114 Hellfire missile, and AGM-176 Griffin missile. With so many weapon systems on board, it can be tough to choose a favorite. So, It usually comes down to the operational requirements, and you will often hear it depends from current and former AC-130 gunners. The most modern AC-130s have a top speed of more than 415 miles per hour and a range of about 3,000 miles, plus the ability to refuel mid-air. When it comes to close air support, the more an aircraft can loiter and stay on station, the better. For that reason, Joint Terminal Air Controllers, TACs, have a sweet spot for rotary wing aircraft, such as the AH-64 Apache or AH-1Z Viper attack helicopters, and for the AC-130 Gunship, which can stay on station for many hours because of its ability to refuel mid-air. An F-16, on the other hand, not only carries less firepower, but can usually remain on station for only about 30 minutes before having to depart to refuel. At the end of the day, the AC-130 is there for one reason and one reason only: to support the warfighter on the ground with accurate, often close, air support. For the AC-130 crews, supporting America's elite special operations units on the ground in the middle of the night thousands of miles away from home is a unique and moving experience. One of the primary concerns around aircraft such as the AC-130 Gunship is if they can survive and operate in an environment in which the US and its allies don't enjoy the complete air superiority they have been accustomed to for the past 20 years. The Air Force Special Operations Command understands the limitations of its special operations aircraft in an operational environment in which the enemy gets a vote with his advanced aircraft and anti-aircraft systems. Efforts are underway to develop weapons that can offset some of the AC-130's vulnerability in contested airspace. For example, AFSOC is currently working on a cruise missile that could be deployed from the AC-130 and the MC-130 Commando II, the Gunship's transport sibling. Should the cruise missile become operational, it would vastly increase the effective range of the AC-130 and would allow the Gunship to engage targets from outside any enemy anti-aircraft umbrella, thereby increasing its survivability and keeping the AC-130 in the fight, because when there are troops in contact on the ground, shrouded in darkness and encountering overwhelming odds, there aren't many friendlier sights than the mighty AC-130 with a 105mm cannon hanging out of the fuselage.